to be considered at the regular meeting of the Board of Education scheduled for Tuesday, July 28th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. in the Unit Office Conference Room, 500 North 10th Street, Herrin, Illinois, 62948. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mrs. Hastings, would you please call roll?
John Hutchinson.
Here.
Susie Etherton.
Here.
Cindy Miller. Here. Kelly Green.
Here.
Steve Young.
Here.
Brad Blakey.
Here.
Steve Robinson.
Here.
At this time, we'd recognize anybody who would like to address the board. When recognized, that person should give their name before making comments. Statements are asked to be limited to 5 minutes in durations, and I would ask Mrs. Hastings to please start a timer if anybody would like to speak. Would anyone like to address the board at this time?
My name is Colt Griffin. I just got info sign-ups about my son was ineligible to ride the bus. It was a mile and a half road for a state statute. I've done some digging. I've talked to the Illinois School Board of Education in Springfield. What the bus company is telling me is my child is ineligible to ride the bus because he lives within a mile and a half. The way the statute is wrote is you are required outside of a mile and a half. You, the board, make the decision inside a mile and a half. I understand that sometimes number of students or cost can be an issue. I'm just curious if that's been looked into at all, or if we're just going off state statute. Also, I just found out, so now I'm trying to rush around, find out how to get my kid to and from school. I feel like the safety of walking some of these streets is terrible. Crossing main highways, crossing roads without crosswalks or stop signs. So I'm just curious if that's been looked at, or we're just going off statute.
Mr. Griffey, he has emailed me. He's been trying to get in touch with me. We've not been able to connect. He did talk to Sandy this morning. Is that right? Based on your emails this afternoon. He talked to Sandy, and he and I are going to try to get a meeting together for next week because he's out of town for the rest of this week. But I don't care to address it now. I can address it with him Monday. Basically, he's right. You know, we follow a state statute that under a mile and a half, we do not transport students. And it varies from school to school. It's a mile and a half from the school that you're at. So if it's a junior high school, there's variance. So there are safety issues throughout the community. We have several high school students that have to cross 148 to get to the high school. Several junior high students that have to cross 148 to get to the junior high. A little better crosswalk system up at the junior high by Stotler. There's still some places without sidewalks, and we do have some routes that are not the best walking paths or things along those lines. So what we typically do when we start a school year and there's a concern like this, in any given year, I'll probably get 6 or 8 considerations. I'll call Sandy. Sandy will talk to him and say, you're under the mile and a half radius. You need to talk to Mr. Wilson. Those calls will come to me. And what I tell people every year to start the year is, we're going to start this way. We start this way. We take a look and see what our bus routes are going to be like. How many kids we're going to have on buses. Do we have the ability to get a student to a bus stop? Can a student get to a bus stop where it's not going to cause us an issue with numbers on buses? So we really start the first 2 to 3 weeks that way. We have made exceptions before to the mile and a half piece. It's been specific to junior high typically because 6th grade's a little bit touchy. Your kid is 6th grader? There you go. So it's a little tough because they're not quite big kids and they're not really little kids. And so that's usually where we run into most of the problems. Made exceptions to it before. We don't just follow that hard and fast and say no. But we also don't just say, yeah, come on board, because then I'll have everybody in under a mile and a half calling and saying, I went on the bus, I went on the bus, I went on the bus, and I don't have enough bus space for it. So, Mr. Griffey, correct? Is that right? Like Ken Griffey. Okay, gotcha. We absolutely will look at it. It's not a hard and fast, sorry, you're out of luck. We'll have to see where we're at within a couple weeks of school. The first couple weeks might be a little bit tough because we are going to ask that you get your kid to school, or he or she, you said son, right? Can walk to school, but that's 100% how I've done that in my time here at Herrin.
If I may.
Sure.
Reading through the statute, there is the option that if they live within the mile and a half, if it does cause a constraint with buses or cost, that you can impose a fee also. And I know that's not anything, I wouldn't want to, but I absolutely would, just to make sure my kid got to and fro. Just.
Can I-
keep
can
going
I-
to this thing.
Here's what I'm gonna suggest. We greatly appreciate your comments.
Yeah.
How about you, Mr. Wilson? Schedule meetings so you can work through the details with regard to all of this, okay?
Yeah, and I think that's the best thing to just kind of figure out where you live at, what we've got. Let me figure out where you're at, what Sandy's got, but I'll just here's my answer every year. We're not going to start that way, but we'll certainly look into it. Yeah. Good. All right, you bet.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to make comment at this time? Not, we'll move on to the consent agenda. We need a motion, a second, and a roll call vote to approve, adopt, and reaffirm items presented on the consent agenda and not extracted for July 28th, 2026.
Second. Cindy Miller,
Yes.
John Hutchinson,
Yes.
Kelly Green,
Yes.
Brad Blakey, Netherton.
Yes.
Steve Robinson.
Yes.
Steve Young.
Yes.
Moving on to our old business, Mr. Wilson has some updates on our district projects.
Yeah, we'll update the district projects. I talked about in the June board meeting, the different things we had going on throughout the district. Some of those are getting wrapped up. Some of them are nearing completions, and some are kind of midstream still. When you have an 8-week summer, it's kind of hard to get everything done. But we're working at it. And so first off, at our junior high playground, we do have a new concrete pad poured, which will eliminate some of the mud issue on that new playground area. We have some carports that are going to be delivered in the next couple of weeks that will provide some shade for the students, an area where they can put some picnic tables under and sit out and hang out there. So that project's coming along. Once we get the carports and everything taken care of inside, we'll get the outside exterior fenced in. So that'll keep balls traveling out in traffic, etc. Another concrete pad poured over the pre-K center, giving our students an outside outdoor area where they can have some picnic tables and stuff set up out there. Still working on some shade for that building. At the playground for pre-K and north side, we do have that equipment ordered, and it'll be some time for those structures come in because those are custom structures. They're not just run-of-the-mill structures. So we'll have, hopefully by fall break, and maybe get that window and get those installed during fall. At the elementary school, we have security doors installed. I think there's a little bit of work left there to do some touch-ups and some the name escapes me right now. Security buzz in, buzz out piece is not quite done yet, but that new vestibule essentially has been created. I don't know, elementary principals kind of looks like it's always been there. Really, I think it looks really good. Oh, they painted it today? Oh, I have
orange and black.
Great, great. So that provides that layer of security at the elementary school. So when you walk in door one, you're now not at full access to the building. Just walking in, and now you're kind of like, oh, I've got to go to the office, or I'm staying right here where I'm at. So that provides a layer of security at the elementary school that was needed. At all of our main entrances throughout the district, if you've noticed, we've added window graphics.
Yes.
That see
Really neat.
can't see in, but we can see out. Although it makes it look like it's always cloudy outside. But hey, whatever. It's a very nice addition. Add some pop. Add some a little bit of like tigers to it. We're working on plans and details for the north side of the high school, where kind of Gym A entryway there. Also for the towers of glass at the high school. That'll add some security and also, again, a little bit of pop to it. It takes a long time to get those graphics together. But glad we've been able to do that. Again, most of this work being done through some type of grant, whether it be full service community schools grant, sales tax money, some other miscellaneous grants that we've had. So not something that we're having to spend a lot of our own money on. The high school bathroom renovation, it's just lacking the new sinks being put in, new epoxy flooring's in, new partitions are in, been painted, and they just look a lot better. An update that was much needed. Unfortunately, it just makes other things look bad because it looks nice and the outside doesn't look quite as nice. So we'll keep working on that. We've got some bathroom renovation, new partitions and epoxy floors at Northside bathrooms that was needed over there. So we've got that cleaned up. We've done the fencing around Herrin High School parking lot. If you will call that a fence, railing, maybe a more appropriate term, kind of a visual barrier to where the parking lot ends. I think that looks nice. It's been completed. We've been doing some work on Ball Diamond 7 to get that prepared. If you remember, we bought that about a year ago from the city, and it was basically in need of a lot of repair. Been working on Diamond 7 to get it updated. We'll see if it's going to be ready for junior high season, be close. And something that I haven't shared much of is, we've been working on some new plans for the unit office too, a new unit. And so that's something that we're going to start really zeroing in on here. We've kind of, once we get school kicked off and started, really looking and zero in on getting a new unit office design done. We had conversation here at the unit office back in June. We've sent comments and ideas back to the architect again. Haven't seen anything back yet for a revision to see if we're like thumbs up, really close to go. And again, the idea will be that we'll build on the backside of this parking lot, the backside of this building, kind of in the parking lot. We'll get the new structure completed. Once the new structure is completed, and then we can move in, and then we can erase this building, and this will become a parking lot. So we'd like to get that done in the next couple of years, honestly. And we'll be using our sales tax funds to fund that. We've been able to take care and put some sales tax back, and in the next couple of years, we'll continue hoarding that money for sales tax. Not all of it, but some of it. So that's something that's exciting that we've not discussed much about, but I think it's time to start talking a little bit more about that because it's a very important piece for our district to have that done. That, I believe, is project updates. Any questions on the project or anything else that you've seen around the district?
I would just make one statement with regard to the building.
Yeah.
It's a situation where it's needed. This building has got some issues. There's some mold issues here. I'm concerned, we want to make sure that health, life, safety issues are squared away and taken care of. So this really and truly is something that is needed for the district. And I thank you for taking on the initiative to get the plans and everything pulled together.
It's been a good team effort. So we'll keep moving on. I'll keep you updated, but kind of expect more updates on that. And if anybody has any questions, certainly come and talk to me about it.
Moving on to special reports, we're always proud to recognize the accomplishments of our students and our faculty here in Unit 4. Those accomplishments will be acknowledged during our next edition of Let's Talk Tigers. Moving on to new business, Mr. Wilson's got some information with regard to our school board policies.
Yeah, I think overall, a lot of just review and monitoring on school board policies for our first read. Nothing that was terribly mind-boggling in that. One thing that I thought was interesting is the recommendation to move the public comment period from a 5-minute period to a 3-minute period in duration. Many schools have already moved to that, so I would recommend that we just follow suit and move that to a 3-minute period for public comment. Some schools are going to 2. I don't recommend that. So some other just general updates overall in our board policy, but I did want to point that out as it's something that happens occasionally.
Any questions or comments with regard to the other school board policies presented? If not, any questions with regard to the approval of the activity account? Seeing none, I'll need a motion, a second, and a roll call vote to establish the class of 2030 account within the high school activity ledger.
Reed,
Yes.
Cindy Miller.
Yes.
Susie Atherton. Yes. Steve Robinson.
Yes.
Brad Blakey. Steve Young. John Hutchins.
Yes.
Does anyone have any questions with regard to the homecoming handbook?
I want to make one comment on that if I can.
Mhm.
We will more than likely roll that into our activity handbook. So it's not like we have 3 separate handbooks floating around at the high school. This kind of was being put together and processed, and so it kind of came after the fact. So more than likely it'll all become part of one handbook. And thanks for your questions, and I hope those were addressed that we had earlier when I put this out initially.
I talked to Stephanie today and she said she, I can actually anything.
Questions or comments with regard to that? Not, need a motion, a second, and a roll call vote to approve the homecoming handbook as presented.
Second.
Young. Brad Blakey.
Yes.
Steve Robinson.
Yes.
Kelly Green.
Yes.
Susie Atherton. Yes. Miller.
This time we need a motion, a second, and a roll call vote to close the meeting in
Hold
accordance.
on, I got one more. I have to commend Cassie for all that work that you did on that Title I information that we got in our packets. Believe it or not, I read through it all.
I apologize for how small it is, because that is the way it you can put it in a printer friendly mode, and that's how it comes out. So as much as I try to redact, the information that's repeated so that you weren't seeing, wait a minute, this is the same thing as what was previously stated. I really tried to give it to you in a format that's easily read, but thank you. I can't take full credit because a lot of that information also comes from the buildings themselves. And so
Well,
we
thank
just
the
really try to
administrators as well,
continually
but
update.
that was a lot of work, and I appreciate everything you guys have done for us, so, thank you.
Thank you.
All good?
Yep.
Okay. Need a motion, a second, and a roll call vote to close the meeting in accordance with section 122A of the Open Meetings Act, citing the following exceptions as contained in section 122C to discuss student disciplinary cases, the approval of closed minutes, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, evaluation, and dismissal of specific employees, and to discuss litigation.
Second. Atherton? Yes. Steve Robinson?
Yes.
Steve Young? John
Yes.
Miller? Yes. Green?
Yes.
Brad Blakey?
We'll vote to reconvene to open session.
So moved.
Robinson?
Yes.
John Hutchinson?
Yes.
Brad Blakey?
Yes.
Steve Young? Stevie Atherton? Yes. Steve Miller? Yes. Kelly Green?
Yes. We need a motion, a second, and a roll call vote to adopt the closed minutes from the meeting held June 30th, 2026.
Brad Blakey? Stevie Atherton? Yes. Steve Robinson?
Yes.
John Hutchinson?
Yes.
Kelly Green?
Yes.
Cindy Miller? Yes. Steve Young?
We need a motion, a second, and a roll call vote to approve the following personnel recommendations as presented or amended. Resignation, Sierra Anderson as an instructional coach for the district. For employment, Kayla Williams as a secretary for the pre-K center. Maria Deaton as an elementary teacher. Carson Berry as a paraprofessional for the elementary school. Charlie Elliott as an assistant cross-country coach for the high school. The winter coaches for the high school and the junior high school. And for compensation, to approve the pay increase for the STARS assistant. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself on that one. That will be a separate motion. My apologies.
Hutchinson?
Yes.
Stevie Atherton? Yes. Steve Miller? Yes. Kelly Green?
Yes.
Steve Young? Brad Blakey? Robinson?
Yes.
Now I need a motion, a second, and a roll call vote to approve the pay increase for the STARS assistant as presented.
Steve Miller? John Hutchinson?
Yes.
Kelly Green?
Yes.
Brad Blakey? Stevie Atherton? Yes. Steve Robinson?
Yes.
Steve Young?
Yes.
Very quickly, I want to make an announcement. The chamber is working for the school district, the Chamber of Commerce, and we are going to be holding a Stuff the Bus event on Saturday, August 8th from 12:30 until 2:30. I've encouraged everybody from the chamber perspective to bring their school supplies and everything out. We're going to try to stuff a little white school bus at the back of the chamber lot. We've encouraged people to drop things off for the school district. So I just want to get that out every way possible to try to benefit our kiddos who are in need and help their families any way that we can. So once again, that is going to be August 8th. That's a Saturday from 12:30 until 2:30. If anybody is not available to drop things off at that time, they can make donations at the chamber office during their office hours, which is from 9 until 2, Monday through Friday. Having said that,
I would recommend going on Herrin Unit 4 registration, and you can look at the school supply list on the registration tab. Maybe you'll get that bumped up a little bit where it's easier to find.
here's what I suggested today. And the administration can correct me if I'm wrong. Gym shoes for the junior high, clothing, hygiene products, soap, shampoo, body wash, things like that. But then in addition, what I suggested was if you're getting ready to go buy school supplies for your child, make it 2 and drop off the extra. Having said that, and completed the items on the agenda, I need a motion, a second, and a roll call vote to adjourn the meeting until the next meeting of the Board of Education scheduled for Tuesday, August 25th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. in the unit office conference room.
Second.
Kelly Green?
Yes.
Cindy Miller? Yes. Stevie Atherton? Yes. Steve Robinson?
Yes.
Brad Blakey? Steve Young? John Hutchinson?
Thank you, everyone.
Yes.